Good morning. Let's take a look at the context at the start of trade in the Indian equity markets this week. We start off in a situation where the US Federal Reserve has indicated a more hawkish tilt in the last week when Fed Chair Jerome Powell spoke about the possibility of retiring the transitory nature of, or the transitory tag to inflation, the likelihood that there could be a faster rollback of monetary stimulus there, in that the bond buying program will be eased off faster than was previously expected. That is leading into this week, where here in India you have the Monetary Policy Committee of the Reserve Bank of India that will decide on the future course of monetary policy. There's unlikely to be a rate hike, of course, but it could be a policy where you see direction as to where we're likely to go in terms of interest rates. So that's the context in terms of the macros. When you look a little closer, you've had a spurt at the last trading session of the week last week, but today you have a bit of a muted open because over the weekend also you saw quite a few risk assets getting sold very heavily. Crypto assets got sold very heavily over the course of the weekend. So today, about an hour into trade, you have the Nifty 50 that's trading with cuts of about 0.4% at 17,128. The Nifty Bank is trading with cuts of about 0.25%, and the broader markets are more or less reflecting that. They're a little better off in that the mid-cap index it's down about 0.1%, and the small-cap index at this juncture is gaining about that same amount. Let's take a closer look at some of the stocks that are outperforming today. You have JSW Steel and Tata Steel, as well as Hindalco from the metals pack that is doing quite well. All of them the top gainers on the Nifty 50 at this juncture. L&T, Grasim, UPL, Ultratech, some of the other gainers on a Nifty 50 heat map, which heavily favors the sellers at this juncture. The declines are significantly more than the advances. The biggest loser today is Coal India, which is losing about 6% or so. Maruti Suzuki losing 2%. HCL Tech, IndusInd Bank, Infosys, Tata Motors, Bajaj Finance, some of the other losers in trade. And you probably got a sense of the sectors that are underperforming and outperforming today. IT as a pack is not doing too well, about 1% lower. Auto, Pharma also lagging in trade. But on the other hand, you have Realty that's making quite a bit of a comeback. It's gaining about 1.3% in trade today. The metals as a pack are looking strong, 1.2% higher. That's essentially how the picture looks at the start of trade. We'll have to see whether these levels hold out over the course of this day. Stay tuned.